Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to bring you on a little tour of the pool gardens. I've made a bunch of changes in here. I planted several shrubs from my good friends over at Proven Winners. We are planting hydrangeas, we're planting diervillas, we're planting so many good things. I can't wait to show you what I got in the ground already. I'm going to be doing a bunch of stuff out here, but we are in fall now. We're gonna be closing the pool up this week, and I figure I better get you in here before that change. Next year is really the year that I'm looking to showcase this space, because right now everything is just so new and nothing. I mean, I have a few blooms, but nothing that really looks spectacular after the pool patio renovation and the plantings. But I'm going to give you an idea of what's going on, what I planted, show you all the new shrubs that I got in the ground because they're really cool and I think you're going to love them. So with that, you ready to get your bloom on? Let's go. So before we get into all of the shrubs and stuff that I planted, can we all just appreciate how good the pool patio looks? I mean, I just blew everything off with my leaf blower that I have sitting over there on my table and chairs, which is really not the right spot for it, but I wanted to show you guys the garden. So, and I keep making excuses like I have to make everything perfect before I show you stuff, but I'm just gonna show you. I'll give you a little quick tour of some of the furniture that I have real quick. I don't have the cushions out here because it poured last night, like it really rained. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the pizza oven that we got that I love. Chris and I make pizzas every weekend. When my kids are around, we do it with them too. And we got a Blackstone that I love also. We've been using that for breakfast and we've been cooking some dinners on it. It's been really great. Really great addition back here. I'm sure we're going to use it so much more next year, but let me just kind of give you a quick tour of all that stuff before we get into the weeds of the shrubs that I planted. So first things first, I have had these lounge chairs, bought them from Wayfair when we first moved in, just so we had some lounge chairs out here. They have cushions, love them, I love the vibe, and so because I have these, when I bought my table and chairs, I wanted to go with a similar look, also from Wayfair, and I did wind up getting one of those round chairs as well. Again, we're still actually putting the canopy on it because one of the pieces were missing, and Wayfair was good enough just to send, they sent us the other piece that was missing in the kit, but we just put away all of the cushions. But I'll kind of pop on the screen here what it's supposed to look like. Really, this is going to be such a fun spot next year. I can't even wait until the next pool season. Got some umbrellas also from Wayfair. They've got that little fringe on them. Really fun. I'm actually going to try to open things up later and hang out here for a little bit because it's going to be a beautiful day. I think it's going to be like 80 degrees. But the star of the show right now, and we have to plug it in over here because we need to add more outlets in, does need electric plus propane, is our pizza oven, the Blackstone pizza oven. I was not planning on getting this, but Blackstone, I bought both this and the griddle from Blackstone. They were offering a deal on both. And so I said to my husband, I said, do you think we should just get the pizza oven too? And he was like 100%. So I did buy it. And if and when we eventually do a kitchen out here, I would bring this and the Blackstone griddle up to our Vermont cabin because we don't have anything like that up there. So we figured if we wound up changing things, we'll just do that. But really, what a great addition. We've been making pizzas every weekend. It is so much fun. The pizzas are so good. And you have so much control over, you know, the food that you're eating. So I usually get, you know, like a dough. I don't make my own dough. I know I can make my own dough, but I do buy it from Whole Foods, and really quick and easy to make. Pizzas whip up in like 5 minutes. It's awesome. So we do like hot tub night, and then we make, you know, pizzas after, and it's just a lot of fun. Another addition to our pool patio is the Blackstone. We have been cooking up weekend breakfasts on here. It makes bacon like you would not believe, like so crisp. And the mess is just out here instead of in my house. I love it. This was so smart. And what's really funny is that we have a grill, and I was actually going to replace the grill. And my friend said to me, Stacy, so many people are just going to Blackstone. Maybe you should do that. So I talked to my husband about it, convinced him that that was a really good idea, and we did it. And I have to say, Blackstone griddle is the way to go. So I was leaning more towards doing a rectangular set out here, but they didn't have what I wanted in stock, and they did have an oval table, and I figured actually we'd have better circulation around the oval table. And I have to say, I'm glad I went with the oval version versus the rectangular version, because we've been kind of shifting the chairs around a little bit. When it's sunny, we do open the umbrellas. Yes, I could have done one big, huge market umbrella, but I really wanted to mirror the same look that I have going on over here. And I also wanted to be able to move these over to some of the other spots around the pool if I wanted to, versus having one of those really big, huge market umbrellas. So that's kind of why I went with this route. So I did two, and I did bases that have wheels, so you can more easily shift them around. These do come with back cushions and seat cushions, and I just like to grab all my cushions and bring them indoors when it's going to rain. It's just easier. I'd rather not cover things, and my husband's office / the pool house is right here next door, so we just throw everything in there when it's going to rain. No big deal. And then the other thing that I was going to show you, even though I don't have the cushions out here and we don't have the canopy on it because we're still assembling, is our big round lounger. Like, this is going to be so fun. But the cool thing about this is, and I never knew this about these loungers, is they actually break apart so you can have a table and seating. So if we have a party and we want to make extra seating, we can just pull that apart. Isn't that so cool? All right, so I'm not going to be moving the Blackstone out of the way, so I'm just going to kind of bring you over here. So we had to fix some drainage over here, which is why we've got some river rock here. So we've got a drain pipe, and that way water can go down into, there's a grate there. But I had some roses over here. I have New Dawn, a climbing rose, and a clematis. This was totally full with hostas, and Doug divided them, moved a bunch out, and I don't know if you remember, but this whole bed was full of hostas. They're in full sun, and they really took over the area, and I love them, so I did keep them, but we just moved them to other areas and spread them out in the gardens. So I've got some Oh So Easy roses here. They're pink. There's a few blooms left on them, but they've really been on the struggle bus since we did all the construction. They're still alive. I'm sure they'll be fine next year, so I'm not worrying about anything. But I had these all in one area and divided them up so I can flank a location that will become a spot for a fountain. Over here, I planted hydrangea, Pinky Winky Prime. He's actually going to get shifted over a little bit more once I get a small blue spruce tree in here. I'm looking for the Montgomery blue spruce. I really want that blue color over here, but I haven't been able to find it yet. A lot of the local nurseries don't have it right now. They've been spoken for by other homeowners, landscapers, so I'm on the hunt for one. So I do want to put one right there. I planted some roses called Fragrant Peared. They smell amazing and are edible, and I've even got a little bloom over there. Now, when I planted them, I did not fertilize them or anything. I just left them alone. My soil's pretty good here. I did amend the soil with a little bit of compost before planting everything. I will worry about fertilizing them next year. I don't want them to, be fed right now as we're entering October, when they should really be starting to go into dormancy. So I just planted them, got them in the ground. There are some buds on them though, which is going to be kind of nice to see them flower. So the cool thing about Fragrant Peared roses is you can use them in salads and infusions and get like a really unique, flavorful touch to your summer dishes. I'm super excited about that, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to put it here by the seating area. So not only, can we get the fragrance from the roses, but we can also snag a few blooms to tuck in a summer salad. So I have a little section of them over here going all around. This is a lace cap hydrangea that was here. We just moved it and set it back. We planted an arborvitae in the back, and this is a shrub rose that was already here. Spot where that stone is where we're going to be putting beautiful fountain. I would love to get one that's very similar to my cut flower garden. I feel like that would look really pretty there. Dug and divided some sedum autumn joy. I think I'm going to fill in those little empty spots there. And I just kept these hostas in along the front here. I'll see what they look like next year. And then I moved a Caryopteris volunteer over here, Bluebeard. I'm really glad it took. It was looking a little bit sad, but now it looks like it's really filling in. I plan to put Fall in Love Sweetly anemone here. I've got some blooming on the other side of the yard, and I want to divide some and move some here. And over here along the front of the border, I've got Midnight Sun weigela. It grows to be 1 to 1.5 feet tall and wide, which is why I placed it at the front of the border. And it's going to be really pretty. I think it's going to be a nice combination with that foliage, with my Oh So Easy roses that bloom pink and that Caryopteris in the back. Really pretty. I thought it would really look good with the Winecraft Gold smokebush that I planted back there, with the Glow Pop Japanese holly here along the front. Now I did plant things a bit tight, and I will move things around as they grow and fill in, but I really wanted to get a full look over the next year or two, and then I'll kind of move things around based on how they grow. I also tucked in some reminiscent crema roses, sky pencil Japanese holly, which is not going to really get very wide. It will get tall, so it will add some interest in this border. I've also got Tough Stuff Top Fun hydrangeas in here. They got a little beat up during the construction, so hopefully they'll bounce back and look amazing next year. That one I actually had here, and because it got so bent out of shape from the patio construction, I had to cut it back a little bit, so that's why you see that flush of new growth. Dug and divided some alliums, planted a row of more hostas that we dug and divided, and I've got Powerball hydrangeas. These I saw when I was in Michigan visiting Proven Winners, and let me tell you, the blooms were huge. So this section here of the garden is going to be epic, and I feel like those flowers with the green fence and the pool is just going to be beyond gorgeous. So I have yet to plant this sky pencil. Originally I wasn't sure where they were going, but I decided to kind of tuck them in along the back row here, and so I think I'm going to go with 3. I could do 5. I was thinking about doing 5. If you think I should do 5, let me know, but I think I'm going to do 3. I think 5 would be almost overkill, so I'm going to stick with 3. But if you think I should do 5, weigh in the comments below. I'd love to hear. Then moving along here, we've got Oh So Easy red stripe. No blooms on it, but will look really beautiful next year, I'm sure. And again, just like the other roses that I planted, I did not fertilize them, just planted them. Here we've got Diervillas Kodiak Fresh. Look at that foliage. Isn't that striking? I love the chartreuse, and I think it gets yellow flowers in summer. So I thought that would be a really pretty combination with all of the other plants that I have going on in here. Okay, next in the line of new plantings, we've got Glow Stick Japanese holly. It gets yellow evergreen foliage that brings year-round color, and it's got these unique, narrow yet upright habit that adds structure while saving space. So I planted 5 to get a little bit of drama. It's gonna grow not that wide, but it does get about 4 to 6 feet tall, which I thought was a good height given the fence. And I just love the color. I think it's gonna add like that little bit of color and give the eye a place to rest as you're spanning down the garden. Next up is Let's Dance Sky View. How gorgeous are those flowers? Yes, they arrive that way. I'm super excited. I am planting a lot of hydrangeas in this space, so I guess much like my friends Eric and Christopher over at Grow For Me Gardening, I might wind up calling this room the hydrangea room, just because it's enclosed in the pool garden. But I mean, it's still going to be known as the pool garden, but it is somewhat of a hydrangea room, I'm just saying. So anyway, it It is a mop head. It likes typically morning sun, afternoon shade. Grows to be about 2 to 3 feet tall and 2 to 4 feet wide. I will probably need to do a little bit better spacing as things start to really fill in. I'm pretty aware of that. But I really, like I said, I wanted to get more of a full look from the outset. So I planted them about 3 feet apart, and look at the vibe already. Like, how pretty, right? I also added some mock oranges. These are gonna get flowers in the spring. This is Illuminati Spice. It gets big white flowers that nestle among handsome, durable, dark green foliage. Really gorgeous. I thought it would be a great addition to get some spring flowers here around the pool early in the season. With the mock oranges, I also planted Winecraft Gold smokebush, much like I did at the other end of the bed. And I am a huge fan of smokebush. I mean, I don't really grow it so much for the flowers, but I do love it for the foliage. This one grows to be about 4 to 6 feet tall and 4 feet wide. I thought it'd be a fun combination with the mock oranges, and we'll kind of see what it looks like as it grows. I mean, if I don't love it here, I'll wind up moving it, but I think it's going to be beautiful. It's going to have like a lighter chartreusey colored foliage, and the flowers start with like a green that changed to pink, and the foliage emerges as like this gold and ages to a bright chartreuse. So I feel like that's going to add a lot of color here in the back of the pool area, and I think with the darker foliage of the mock oranges, it's going to be a striking combination. For now, I kept this little spot of hostas, but I did plant behind there Sergeant Pepper dogwood. Really, really pretty plant. It has, I'm gonna actually show you the tag. It has this gorgeous like pink, green, and white variegated foliage. It grows to be about 4 to 6 feet tall and 6 to 8 feet wide. I think it's gonna be good in this spot, and I'm pretty excited about this one. Then we dug and divided some astilbes and hostas, and I put them under this beautiful dogwood tree. And then I planted wee bit innocent hydrangeas. They grow to be about 2 feet wide by 2 feet tall. So they're gonna be like a low growing hydrangea. I thought the smaller hydrangeas would look really good with Good Vibrations privet. I mean, look at that foliage. Isn't that striking? It's so pretty. I dig variegated foliage. Like, I just think it adds so much texture and detail to borders. And so this one grows to be about 3 to 5 feet tall and 2 to 4 feet wide. So it's going to be really spectacular and really brighten up this space at the back of the pool area. Then next up back here, I planted Diervilla Red, and I think this is a great alternative to the burning bush because you're gonna still get that striking foliage for much longer. Like, burning bushes just don't last that long in the fall. Like, they change color and then the leaves immediately drop. This one's supposedly gonna hold the leaves a little bit longer, and you'll get a much longer season with the color. It does get some blooms in the summertime, and I feel like this is going to be a really fun plant back here. The chartreusey leaves, and as they change color in the fall, it's going to add a lot of color back here. I mean, I know we're not going to be out here much in October, but still, as it grows, it's going to provide a little bit more of a screen to the fencing, and that color is just going to pop. I also planted incredible stormproof smooth hydrangeas. I love these. And they're great because they're going to have stronger, sturdier stems, so the blooms hold up better after a storm versus the much older varieties of smooth hydrangeas. I have a few others in my gardens, and so I decided I wanted to add a couple back here. It's going to be about 3.5 to 4 feet tall and 3 to 4 feet wide. And then next to it, over here, we've got some camellias. These are called Just Chill Double Pink. They get large pink flowers that cover the plant from autumn through early winter, and it just is going to bring a lot of color. It gets to be about 5 to 8 feet tall and 3 to 4 feet wide, so I think this is a great spot for it. It does like full sun to part sun, which this spot does get, although you wouldn't know right now because of I've got a little bit of shade going on right here right now, but it does get a lot more sun than you're seeing right now. But look at that foliage. That glossy foliage I thought would be really pretty back here. To fill in, I tucked in hostas, astilbes. I've got another top stuff, top fun hydrangea in here. And then just to kind of swing you around up here, again, dug and divided some of those hostas that I showed you earlier that are more closer to the entry of the garden near the Blackstone. I've got these impatiens in here that are still blooming. They're like this peach color. I have to say I'm not going to be doing peach in here. So next year, if anything, I'm going to be doing pink. I do have some heucheras in here, peachberry ice. These are going to get moved because, again, I want to get the peach color out of here and drill down more on pinks and purples. I've got some azaleas. I'm planting an arborvitae, small arborvitae, ever-blooming hydrangea, endless summer that I brought from my old house. I dug and divided some alliums, and then we've got some penstemon, small juniper. Some of my annuals have seen better days, but our irrigation was cut off for a period of time in the summer, and everything just really struggled back here. But I did want to show you guys my pufferfish hydrangeas. They also suffered a little bit during the construction, but look at the blooms. Then I've got a canna lily here. This one finally is blooming. It's finally blooming. Like, it took all summer to get here, but it's finally blooming. These are Kaffia. I love the Kaffia back here. I've got impatiens. I love that color. I really am not going to be planting reds and peaches back here next year. I'm just not a fan of the color in the garden. On the other side of the pool gardens, a lot of this was existing, but I did make a small border of some hostas that were here. I couldn't tell you the variety because they were here. I did move Let's Dance Ariba hydrangea over here. I thought that would be a nice addition and would look really cool. This architectural structural piece I bought from Terrain, and I ordered the large and the small, but the large went out of stock, and I really hope they get it back in. Terrain, if you are watching this video, I need the larger piece for this garden. It looks so incomplete without it. So hopefully we'll get that in. Now that I got my husband's bathing suit out of the way, husbands, I just want to quickly show you this garden. So I do have a small border of hostas that I moved over here just to kind of complete the look. There is one there, but he got a little affected by the construction. We do have another set of hostas going up there, which leads to the backyard Zen garden. This rose, I don't know if I'm keeping it. It was here when we moved in. It doesn't really do much for me. It loses all its leaves after it blooms, and I just really don't love it. I'm probably going to put something else there, but in the meantime, I'm leaving it for now. I did plant, this is Let's Dance Lovable hydrangea, and because I didn't have a second one, I just ordered one and popped it in there. And that's it, you guys. Thanks so much for joining me in the pool garden today. I'll see you in the next video. Enjoy a beautiful day.